Hello, you're watching Avenue X, and today let's talk about a recently finished airing Chinese contemporary drama, 雪迷宫, The First Shot. This is a drama produced by Youku and CCTV, China Central Television. It is 32 episodes, directed by Lu Xing, who has previously done a couple of dramas I really liked, such as 平凡的荣耀, Ordinary Glory, 无证之罪, Burning Eyes. It is written by a team of 3 scriptwriters who have previously worked together creating another anti-drug drama, 冰与火. Probably the most well-known person attached to this project would be its supervisor. That would be the famous Chinese film director Zhang Yimou. Seems that he was first the person who helped them comb through the whole script, working out the overall visual style, narrative pacing, and also helped with casting choices. The drama is led by Huang Jingyu, Wang Ziqi, Zhang Yu as the definitively having most screen time 3 male lead. Then you also have Xie Keying, Lin Boyang, Lian Lian. Those would be the 3 probably having most screen time female roles in this drama. And they set a story in the late 1990s in a small city in northeastern China. The drama is actually mostly filmed in a northeastern China city, Changchun, last year from July to September. Although Changchun is by no means a small city. In preparation of writing of the script, these scriptwriters actually spent 2 years interviewing real policemen who used to be working in anti-drug department in those places in China back in the late 1990s. So when you watch this drama, you do feel that they have put a lot of details into the specific procedures of dealing with those cases and what is the life like for policemen back then. I wouldn't put it at the 3 gold mine because it's not perfect. There are things I still hope it could do better, but it definitely performed exceeding my expectation. I want to first be the proper drama reviewer, do my usual thing, good and bad, and looking at it as comprehensively as possible, and then I will be improper. Somehow this normal police drama has become the new land of shipping for all the BL lovers. Anyway, so first, being the proper drama reviewer, I will mention the things I hope this drama could do better first, and then I'll talk about what I like about it. In terms of I hope it could do better and why it's not a 3 gold mine. First, the way it got aired actually angered most of its audiences. They aired the drama first week pretty much the normal way of airing dramas, 2 episodes a day, and then they slow it down to 1 episode a day, which often happens with Youku too. But usually with dramas, when they do that, they will let you know what's their plan of airing. They will put out official posts on their social media that will tell you, for example, like this is our schedule. Once they air past the initial schedule that they only let out about like the first 15 episodes, they never update their posts. And even when people leave hundreds and hundreds of comments under their posts and saying, well, you have air past your point of schedule, like what do you want to do every day, like how many episodes, like let us know. There's no communication between the production, their official account, and its audience, and it's the polar opposite attitude of how you promote the drama compared to, say, not so long ago, Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty, where the whole crew is like constantly engaging with its audiences and getting feedback. It gives you the feeling that the people who've spent money and effort making this drama actually doesn't care about how it does. I have no idea what happened. Whether the production company actually had a problem with the platform, they're not on good terms or whatever. It just looks pathetic. Second thing, the drama is specifically said 1997. I was old enough in 1997 to remember what everything looked like back then. Although it's not far away from now, things actually have changed quite a lot in the last 2-3 decades. And I would say the drama did try to evoke the sense of late 1990s, but not being very successful. And I did read in an interview that they weren't aiming at replicating everything of the late 1990s. They just want to evoke a sense of that period, but still focusing mostly on the plot and story they want to tell. So the result would be a weird mixture of things that look quite accurate to its time and things that don't fit in. For example, down to props. What brand of cigarettes? What is the snacks people usually get? What are the fizzy drinks in China back then that people like to drink and popular, and those details, because they're easily researchable, so you do see a accurate enough late 1990s props, sets, things of such nature show up on screen. On the other hand, when it comes down to the actors, how they get styled, their hair, their clothing, very much not accurate to the late 1990s. So it does create this really odd way of people talk, act, and look like more people of the 2010s to now, whereas everything else looks like 2 decades older. Back then, like the flat iron thing was this huge thing in China. Like they really thin the texture of your hair and then they flat iron your hair to this super straight way, and it's a fashionable thing from the late 90s to early 2000s, and almost all hairstyles will look like that. Huang Jingyu's sister, like her style actually looks a lot more 1980s instead of late 1990s. And then the way actors talk and act, and plus all the guys' hairstyle and their clothing style just look way too closer to now than the 1990s. At least to me, when I started watching this drama, first couple of episodes, I really have to basically do the convincing in my own head. Focus on the plot and then don't pay so much attention to the fact that these two people just screams now instead of 1990s. Third thing, Huang Jingyu as the definitive male lead, his acting happens to be the weakest among the leading actors, basically putting him up against Wang Ziqi and Zhang Yu. Wang Ziqi is like slightly better than him, I'd say, in this drama, but not significantly better in terms of acting. But Zhang Yu is belonging to a class of his own, who is actor's actor. He can blend into a crowd, and whatever age, time, type of role you give this guy, you know he can pull it off. He's a film star actor. Huang Jingyu, the guy in Chinese drama and people joke about the doing military service actor in all Chinese dramas because he only plays special force, firefighters, soldiers, policemen. This is another comfort zone and probably super suitable for him. Wow, therefore he actually did a really good job, and compared to pretty much every other drama I've seen him in, this one is so far the best performance he's done. But still, when he's up against actors of like Zhang Yu's caliber as the male lead having most amount of screen time, occasionally you do feel he's in comparison, not up to the challenge. Although I really don't want to complain about it because on the other hand, the chemistry really works out really well between him and the two other guys. Now, let's talk about what's good about this drama. And first and foremost, most importantly, it is a very watchable anti-drug drama. Because it's so clearly belonging to this genre and this specific thing, then the first thing you would be looking at is, does the plot work out? Does the characters work out? The logic of things, catch me if you can, type of storytelling, the pacing and how it develops from the beginning till the end. Do you have full arcs and ups and downs, and is it exciting and enough hook, all those things considered. It is overall a quite successful drama of this genre, and very clear goal of all the characters, the bad guys or the good guys. It has a very clean, clear, stable progression line while everything else is happening, like developing individual characters, their personal background stories, their family, romantic, friendship, all those things are ongoing. At the same time, this main line is always clear, and the pacing is worked out pretty well. You don't have a significant contrast between different sections of a drama that often happens to a lot of not really worked out well scripts, where this section is really exciting and suddenly you have like the next section, 5 episodes, nothing happens, and different standard of writing that don't come together. You really don't have that problem with this drama. Although things progress very slowly, it's very steady, and then it's very reasonable. The good people, the bad people, the police, the drug dealers, they are all reasonably clever, but not super plot armored. No magical savings coming out of nowhere. It's all being planned, and there's all traces you can look back on, and if they lay a clue a couple of episodes later, they would actually remind you that this happened before and therefore this is happening. So it has basically all been worked out. So the most important thing basically is, as a anti-drug drama set in this specific location and time, it's really watchable. You probably wouldn't find it boring at any stage. Number 2, a good thing about this drama is it does balance the seriousness of the nature of anti-drug with a lot of very fitting for its geolocation and time comedy, which is a region of China that's known for well-developed local performance of comedy, kind of imbued in northeastern dialect. This drama does feature a lot of actors who do come from that background, so they can do the accent and let it flow really naturally. For example, our male lead. It also plays into the setup of the 2 policemen leads, Huang Jingyu and Wang Ziqi. One is local from northeastern, and the other plays somebody who comes from the very south of China. actor himself is not, but he does a good enough imitation of the type of vibe and accent that a person from the very south of China would have, and how they would be fish out of water when they move to the north part of China and try to get along with all the new colleagues who are completely from a different background. The third point I would say that worked out pretty well for this drama is it has this classic structure. The drug policemen, they are a team, and it has the clear who does what design for the team. Male lead actor Huang Jingyu plays the team leader, so his experienced criminal policeman who does not cast Huang Jingyu for his muscles. Wang Ziqi plays the brain, the scientific mind. The policeman who's also a professor in chemistry, so he's the master of knowing how you basically cook up all those drugs, and he's essential in that way to help the team figuring out things. And you have the classic technician who will deal with all the lab works and traces and fingerprints and whatever, reading footprints. You have the younger policeman who is following after the two male leads and serving mostly as the extra physical buff. You have the girl who is a fighter, although she's like super skinny and tiny, and supposedly she's like a super fighter. I mean, I'll just believe it because it's Dramaland. And you have the old guy who's almost retiring, but who's actually an expert of explosives, and these days he only just cooks food instead of dynamites. So you have that classic way of setting up a group of people who would have a lot of differences at the beginning and not really working well together, and eventually develop into a team that is perfect match for each other. And towards the end, you probably will fall in love with a couple of them. They do each have their own personal development. So this again shows the script has been worked on for a long time, including the bad one. I'm just talking about the good ones here, but on the drug dealer team, they're also quite well developed characters and having real personalities, not just as paper thin, two-dimensional bad guy. These are the positive things of this drama and why I have overall no complaint about this drama. When I think back in the future of 2024, it would be one of those dramas that I would mention and saying it's worth watching if you want to pick a number of dramas out of a year from China. Then, after doing all the proper reviewer thing, let's just be improper. Didn't see it coming, but this drama is so shippable. And weirdly enough, it has two guy pairs that you can ship. One is with Huang Jingyu's role and Zhang Yu's role. One is with Huang Jingyu's role and Wang Ziqi's role. And probably the Huang Jingyu, Wang Ziqi's role have more shippers, I'd say, on internet. That's what I observe. This is the second time these two actors worked together. Previously, they did a firefighter drama. I don't think it's the intention of the scriptwriter to set them up as BL, like leading couple. But if you think from a BL angle and looking at them from that angle, it would also totally make sense and work out. In the actors acting, in the script writing, in the screen time they occupy, and how every scene gets cut together and how each scene is played out, it's been done with this very normal atmosphere. It's like two straight guys who just happen to be working together and happen to live together because it makes sense. Money-wise, police department doesn't have budget for you to always live in a 5-star hotel. Economically, to make sense, is for them to live together. And you can over-interpret that for sure, as BL lovers in this world would all want to do. But in its own setting, it makes perfect sense, particularly in this time setting, 1990s. And that would be the first thing everybody expects you to do, which is save money for your danwei, for your police station. Therefore, the drama becomes so relaxed, enjoyable, and shippable without any burden of oversell. Given Huang Jingyu is version 00 in Chinese Dramaland of BL adaptation, his drama that didn't even get aired to the full when he led it with Xu Weizhou was a BL drama. It's not a BL adaptation, it's literally a BL. Therefore, he's called in Chinese Dramaland the first guy who entered the ocean. And it's funny that Huang Jingyu, as an actor who's now almost completely typecasted in China as policeman, military service guy, special force, whatever, firefighter, the physical strong guy, almost always played the straight male role, where a lot of people don't really appreciate or like his role because he's so manspreading. He naturally vibes like that. You can't help it. It's not like he's really trying to overpowering anyone, but he just comes across like that. And when he is acting opposite a girl, that very strong masculine male manspreading tendency that comes out of him naturally would make him look like the overpowering guy that these days ladies don't appreciate. So often when I watch him leading a drama with a girl, I don't really get the chemistry. But then when he ends up in a drama where there is no significant female opposite of his, and he's not having any romantic interest in the drama, and it's actually a male actor on the receiving end of that, most of the time his personal relationship, then it suddenly becomes a lot more interesting. Suddenly his manspreading nature becomes a lot more delicious to chew on, because now the other person is a guy. In this case, it would be Wang Ziqi. And Wang Ziqi, usually in his previous dramas, when he is the lead, he would definitely be the alpha. Even though physically he's not a huge guy, he's tall enough and he often plays those type of CEO roles. But then when he enters this world where Huang Jingyu is there, then immediately Huang Jingyu assumes the alpha. And then you see Wang Ziqi actually fits into not on top guy so well. And I think Huang Jingyu is very aware that his 0.0 version of BL in Chinese drama land. And he definitely tries to underplay that. But then he also knows people ship it. If you're looking at the promotional things they've done during events while the drama is airing, you can totally tell he knows what is going on, but he would very cleverly dodge the bullet, but at the same time find the perfect way of making the audiences happy, satisfying what people are projecting on him. And Wang Ziqi would be less aware of the whole thing going on, but then he will also go along with it. And they get along really well. So overall, this drama just happens to create this weird, very shippable guy-guy relationship and couple that if you want to interpret it from that angle, you totally can. But then it doesn't come with all the baggage and negative things when it comes to this type of coupling, that you get the best of both worlds, basically. And then when you think about Huang Jingyu and Zhang Yu, it's almost even more classically set up as the tragic romantic relationship, because they were kids and they had this traumatic childhood experience, and then they lost each other and they found each other. Really, it's a sad story that they found each other too late. Brilliant character played by Zhang Yu. He probably questions himself all the time, is had it happened in a different way, had I not got lost when I was little, had it worked out better for me, would everything be different now? Maybe I could also have a normal life and not being a drug dealer in this way, and yet it's too late. And it also works out really well. So it's just funny when you're watching the drama, people would be arguing who is truly Huang Jingyu's 老婆, who is Yuan Pei, who is the first wife and who is the second. Whether the official couple should be Huang Jingyu and Wang Ziqi, and Zhang Yu is the third wheel, or should it be Zhang Yu's role and Huang Jingyu's role is actually the original couple, and then Wang Ziqi is the 天将 instead of 竹马. And however you want to interpret that, as a drama, it just makes it more interesting. And for me to watch, I enjoyed both couples. They have different type of friendship and sort of love for each other, and it's like really good contrast. But then here's the argument. If we are in a parallel universe, when this drama maintained this really worked out well chemistry between the three leads, but also pull up the performance level of, for example, Huang Jingyu, that would be unimaginably cool, and probably a most beloved, not BL, but then by all BL lovers drama. So at the end of this review, I would say this is surprisingly a very worth watching, very enjoyable anti-drug drama that I totally didn't expect I would have such a positive response to. And given that during this month is also the month that I am spending like most of my energy on the game, Black Myth Wukong, that probably speaks a lot more for the drama, which is it can still grab a part of my attention and make me want to chase down this drama every day. Even though when it's only updating one episode a day, that really pisses me off. I didn't drop the drama, I still want to see what happens till the end. I have nothing to complain. I am very happy and I will highly recommend this drama to you. I'm pretty sure you will not be disappointed. Thank you for watching Avenue X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.